The Yankees successfully executed the sweep of the Texas Rangers on Thursday afternoon, winning a tightly contested 1-0 game. And if you listened to Thursday's podcast, you know we kind of discussed how I was anticipating much offense in this game for either team, with Texas struggling just in general offensively. Nate Eovaldi on the mound facing the Yankees on the other side. Carlos Rodon pitching so well, being a day game after night game. Weather being a little blah, although they got it in on time without any really bad weather. So they got lucky that neither one of these two games ended up getting delayed. But the Yankees did literally just enough to get the victory, to get the sweep. They have now won 4 games in a row. And the only run coming from an unlikely source, a Jorbit Vivas home run in the bottom of the 5th inning, was the entire offense for both teams. The Texas Rangers had 6 base runners in this game. The Yankees had 7, if you also include the base runner they got on the catcher's interference. So it was a pretty quick game. It was a pretty strong pitchers duel. And as we talked about, if you had a chance to watch this game, if not, I know a lot of people were at work. Luckily, I work from home, and part of the job is to watch the New York Yankees baseball. But Eovaldi pitched very well in this game. Obviously, he gives up the home run to Jorbit Vivas, but 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Had the Yankees all sorts of tied up. Pitched very well against Aaron Judge in this game. Even came back on a couple times during the game on 3-0 counts to players to get the strikeout. So he continues his actual dominant form, and he gets the tough luck loss here, allowing 1 run over 6 innings. And on the other side, Carlos Rodon continues his streak of really hot starts, gets his 6th win of the year, 6 innings, no runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. His ERA is under 3 now at 2.88. His whip is under 1 at 0.96. And now you start to look back at his streak of starts here, and he has given up a grand total of 7 runs in his last 7 games. Dating back to that April 18th, 6 innings of shutout baseball start in Tampa against the Rays. So 6-0, 7-0, 6-2, 6 2/3 0, 6-4, 5-1, 6-0 is what it reads in his last 7 starts. And the strikeout totals have been really strong in those as well. 9, 8, 7, 5, 10, 5, and 8. So really, really strong run of play for Carlos Rodon as of late. And in that period of time, he walked into that game against Tampa with a 5.48 ERA. It is now down to 2.88. So incredibly impressive run of games so far for Carlos Rodon. And, look, the Yankees did just enough in this game. Mark Leiter comes in, gets into a little bit of trouble, but is able to get out of the inning, out of the 7th with a huge strikeout. They brought in Devin Williams for the 8th, on an uneventful 8th inning, and I mean that in the best way possible for him. He is now up to, as I take a look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight outings of no earned runs, and 9 of his last 10 outings he has not allowed to run. So that blow up against the Padres is the one exception, but in 9 of his last 10 outings, he has not given up a run. So his ERA is now down to 6.5, and he's starting to round back into form. And Luke Weaver did something that the Yankees have not done, I believe the stat said, since 2021, and that is pitch on 3 consecutive days. Which is a really interesting stat. I know the Yankees, and a lot of organizations do this, but the Yankees are pretty steadfast that they do not want to use relievers 3 days in a row. Maybe you want to call this the old Mike Stanton, Scott Proctor, Joe Torre rule from back in the day, where he would just kind of run through these guys in the bullpen. But with a limited pitch count in these first 2 games, including a 2-pitch outing, they bring in Luke Weaver for the save. He goes 1 inning, does not allow a base runner, gets a strikeout, and saves his 7th game of the season as the Yankees take a 1-0 victory. And really this was just a game of two pitchers really going at it and pitching really well, and two lineups that are probably a little bit tired. Played some competitive games those first two games of the series. Again, early start time, 12:35 Eastern, so there wasn't a huge layoff between when the second game of the series ended and this game started. So, but the Yankees did enough to get the victory. They all count the same, whether you win 1-0 or 20-0. And the Yankees now improved their record to 30-19 through their first 49 games of the season, a season high 11 games above 500. And now they have a very interesting series ahead, because now they're going to play 9 games out west, including the first 3 in Colorado starting on Friday night. It is an 8:40 p.m. So it's a little bit of a late start, but it is a Friday night, so you should be able to sit back and watch it, maybe with a couple brewskis or whatever you do to enjoy your night. It is the Rockies, so maybe you enjoy it. Maybe you're California sober, as they say, and you're going to enjoy the Yankees game a different way. But 8:40 p.m. start time against the Rockies. The Rockies are currently playing, as I'm recording this podcast, against the Phillies right now. But if you somehow do not know, the Rockies are terrible. And when I say terrible, I mean they're on pace for 30 wins. Yeah, that's 30 and 132. I just want you to sit back and think about what that means for a second. Just contemplate the numbers. They will either be 8-42 or 9-41, depending on the result of this game that you will know by the time you listen to this, through their first 50 games, which is beyond abysmal. And it's not getting any better for them. So you don't want to go into too many of these series. And I think there was a series last year the Yankees went in with the White Sox, who ended up being the worst team in baseball history. The Rockies are really fighting hard to challenge them for that this year. But the Rockies are very bad. And I want to be cautious about going into a series saying that you should get a sweep, because even against bad teams in baseball, it is really tough to win games. And sweeping a team, particularly when you're on the road and have to travel cross country to get there, is very difficult to do. With that being said, the talent disparity between both of these two teams is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, in baseball, depending on how you feel the Yankees are. The Rockies are the worst team in baseball, and I feel really good about saying that. Question is where you rank the Yankees in the hierarchy, whether you think they're the best team in baseball or among the top teams, but they're in the top tier, right? So this is a massive talent disparity, and so we will see what happens in this series, and this should be a really strong series for Yankees hitters, who have already been among, if not the best in baseball at times. Getting to play in Coors Field against that Rockies pitching staff should, and I will put that in air quotes here, should be very beneficial for them. I do not know who the Rockies are going to start later today as you're listening to this, because Chase Dolander, who was scheduled to start this game, was placed on the 15-day IL on Thursday. So I'm not sure if the Rockies have actually named who is going to be on the mound. I'm going to take another look here, because he was scheduled to start against Clark Schmidt. So right now it is currently Clark Schmidt versus to be determined. So as of the recording of this podcast, they have not announced who's going to start for Colorado to open this series. And then Saturday afternoon, I have to double check all the time zones here, at 4:10 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, late afternoon, Max Fried, Battle of Lefties here, will take on Kyle Freeland. And again, the Yankees have won all but one start that Max Fried has made for them so far this season. And then the series caps off at 3:10 p.m. Eastern on Sunday afternoon, with Will Warren coming off of a fantastic start, his best start of the year, who's also been very hot as of late, going up against Antonio Senzatella. So Schmidt, Fried, and Warren will open against the league worst Colorado Rockies. And, taking a quick look here at the weather, it should be fairly decent. It looks like throughout the series, There is some rain in the forecast for Sunday, and it looks like it's going to be later in the day on Sunday. So I imagine, again, it's a few days out, so you never know. Reports are not all, weather reports can change, but it looks like it should be pretty good weather throughout. And then Friday night, it looks like they're also going to get some nice weather for a change, just temperature-wise. It looks like it's going to be in the 70s, maybe even 80 degrees at first pitch on Friday night. Saturday afternoon, it'll be mid-70s. And then even Sunday afternoon, it's going to cool down a little bit, but it should still be around that mid-60s range, which has been, again, not the greatest, but a lot better than what we have seen at times. But good hitting environments, particularly in the first two games of this series. So I'm going to be very interested to see how the Yankees match up, particularly on Friday when they have a right-hander on the mound, which is going to be their best chance to just get a monster offensive output. So we will see what the Yankees are able to do in this series, but they're able to get the sweep. They have won 4 games in a row, and it should be another solid series on the way. At minimum, you win this series. Minimum, take 2 of 3 from Colorado at the bare minimum. But maybe they can put together back-to-back sweeps. But we will be back here tomorrow to break down what they are able to do in that first night game against Colorado, and I will talk to you then.